Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Gothic Atelier. So, in my adventures, I've come across what I believe to be a haunted doll, and I know that gets thrown around a lot on various platforms. And honestly, so this doll, I did a whole bunch of research. She is based off of a very established Canadian named Barbara Ann Scott, who in the 1940s, just after World War II, was a award-winning figure skater. She was a big deal, and Eaton's company created a
A
doll.
royal welcome awaits 18-year-old Barbara Ann Scott as she brings back to her native Ottawa the European and the world's figure skating championships. Barbara Ann's high ideals of sportsmanship capture the fancy of everybody. She takes time out to turn down scores of professional offers and then is off to defend another of her amateur titles on her flashing skates. In the auditorium of her native Ottawa, she puts on a brilliant display to retain her North American title, won in 1946. 8,000 devotees of the graceful sport see their favorite win the judge's nod and receive the coveted trophy from the hands of the Governor General, Viscount Alexander.
So I'm not gonna lie, I love old stuff like this. I loved doing the research on her. I loved everything about the process, and it was quite amazing. She is a epic character in Canadian history, and they made it all of her. And I was lucky enough on one of my vintage shopping trips to happen upon this doll. And when I first saw her, all I really knew about the doll was that it looked interesting. It looked aged. It looked old. And so I brought it home and started doing research. And just having lived with her for about a week now, we've noticed, me and my family, some interesting things. So I decided in my wisdom that I was going to try and contact her. And the following is that video. Okay, hello everyone. So I am going to, we've been noticing since I got this doll, she's almost 100 years old. She was made in 1948. And since she joined me in our home, we've definitely been noticing some unusual things. My son swears he sees her move. I've been woken up in the middle of the night to the sounds of what sounded like giggling when no one was present. Just some kind of strange stuff. I've been practicing. I don't know what you'd call me, to be honest. I like to mockingly say I'm a hedge witch, but whatever you want to call it, for pretty much my entire life. And I don't recommend this necessarily as something for everyone by any means. I have not had it go wrong, but I know people who have. So, that said, I'm a bit thorough in my protections of myself and my home. It's the middle of the day. I do not do this stuff at night, and I thoroughly encourage all of you not to. Just because it's not only is it a time when this stuff plays on our minds, but it's also just when we're all kind of more vulnerable, I guess. I have good old fashioned. We've all seen The Exorcist. I've got my rosary. I've got some protection stones. She's on a fabric that I have consecrated in moonlight. Lots and lots of protections. We've got candles. We've got the whole thing. So I can talk to her, and when we're all done, I can say goodbye. I can shut this down, and it should be the end of it. I don't mind having her in my home, to be honest. She seems totally kind, if anything, maybe a little bit mischievous. And I just want to talk to her, to be honest. I want to see who she is, and, if she's got a story to tell. I'm sure she's seen some things. So I'm going to try today. We'll see if this works. I've had some fortune with this in the past, but we're going to try talking to her using tarot cards. And for anyone who has never done this, just as much as tarot can be guided by the person you're doing a reading of, if there is a strong spirit, which is what the ones connected to entities like this would be, for a spirit to connect to a doll or something else, it has to be pretty strong, for sure. I've had none of the indications to suggest it's anything other than potentially just a wayward spirit having a little bit of fun. I have a lot of dolls, and they don't all have that feeling to them, for sure. And I just want to see if I can find out who she is. And, you know, if we're going to be roomies, what her story is. So we're going to try this. If this doesn't work, I have other things we can try in other videos. Obviously, it takes me a bit to set up the things. But let's give this a go and see where we're at. Okay, so I find the best thing is you touch the tarot cards to the doll. You want to make contact so that it's not reading me or it's not reading something else in the room. And then with me as... Okay, we've got the 5 of Cups. Interesting. The 4 Swords. I think we'll do 4 in this reading. The 8 of Swords. And the 6 of Cups. Okay, so, I mean, I'm not getting anything really strong. The benefit I'm seeing here is that nothing in this tells me that there's any danger. There's nothing that's saying there's any need for concern. I think to actually get her full story, I'm going to have to get a little more involved. We might be at the point where I need either a medium or a Ouija board or something like that to actually really get a good, to have a conversation going. Now, you never know. With these sorts of things, she might communicate to me. I've had them communicate to me in my dreams. I've had them do other things to try and communicate with me. Now that I've tried to make a connection with her and I've tried to communicate with her, I think we both understand that neither one of us is meaning any harm. But with that, yeah, I'm not seeing anything here that suggests malevolence or anything other than just, you know, we can try another 4 just to make sure. You know, because I have kids in my house. I definitely want to make sure I'm not courting something that could be an issue. Okay, so we've got 3 of Swords, the Sun, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so very strong message. She's a prankster. She's having some fun. Not evil, not malevolent, nothing really to be concerned about, be worried about, be afraid of. She's being silly. So that makes me feel so much better about having and continuing to have her in my home, because she's beautiful. She's honestly I've had her for about a week now, and I haven't had any, there's definitely no feeling of foreboding. It's not I haven't read anything in her that would lead me to have any concern, and definitely the cards are not saying there's anything here to be worried about. So that makes me feel so much better. I might try another thing in a different video, on a different day, but this is great. This is really, it's putting me at ease. So I'm going to shut down the video. Now, when you do something like this, what you really want to do at the end is just to kind of shut the conversation, right? To make it so that you're not going to have this follow you throughout the day, just in case. So I do have, you can't see it, but I have done some work with salt just to seal the space in my home. We will thank her for her time and for her well wishes and her good energy. Blow out our candles, and that will be the end of it for today. All right, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you on another video. Thank you so much for your time.